We saw more stakeholders, more board level, more PE firm involvement in financial decisions that historically would have been a CHRO or a CFO signing off. And I think the way in which companies are not just making decisions, but evaluating vendors in the first place has also dramatically changed as well. I think these days companies can get a pretty good feel for the market with one click of the button using their LLM of choice, and do a lot of that software vendor research without even engaging software vendors. And obviously that's only as good as the public information that's out there and available. So we sort of saw that and recognized the need that we don't know all accounts where we don't have any incumbency, right? We can do all the outbound demand gen heroics as we possibly can. We can run all these automated email marketing sequences and hope that someone bites. But chances are there's other companies out there that are engaged in these accounts, whether they're existing software vendors, advisory firms, consultants, etc., that have the ears of the executives, that know what their company OKRs are, know what the priorities are, potentially know what their challenges and shortfalls or shortcomings of their existing tech stack are as well. And they can bring us, almost catapult us forward from an account research. And same sort of goes with prospects, right? Someone knows why they're coming to market. We get a lot of RFPs that are, 500, 600 functional requirement line items, very, very detailed. Can it do this? Can it do that? How many green boxes does it have, etc. And you can read all those functional requirements. None of them tell you why a company is going to market. Is it a modernization improvement? Have they had compliance issues? Is it an integration issue? Is it just that it's got a lousy UI and they need to drive better adoption? Is there an AI strategy? Right? These are the key things that would influence, do we think we're a good fit for this company, or is this better off going to someone else? Now, we may not know that because they're a prospect and we haven't had a history of engagement there, but someone does, right? Whether that's incumbents, third-party advisors, management consultants, you name it, right? Someone knows what's top of mind for that organization, what their key OKRs are, maybe what's broken today that is, number one issue for the CEO or board. So for us as sellers, it's incumbent to structure. And for us, it was a bit of a blind spot. So we looked at that as an opportunity to strengthen our account knowledge of in-flight pursuits where they may be able to leverage AWS. We looked at it as a competitive differentiator. AWS more motivated to work with Workday. We're not an infrastructure provider. We don't have any sort of competitive overlap. And then sort of towards the tail end of deals, we looked at transacting through AWS Marketplace as a bit of a glide path through approvals. AWS was already vetted from a security, InfoSec, compliance, audit standpoint. The billing infrastructure was all there. Finance was familiar with them. So we looked at that as an avenue to compress that sort of security and contracting evaluation due diligence process towards the late stage of deals. And we saw that winning momentum, right? So, we win one through AWS, reps hear about it. They want to learn more. I think my team in New York at the time did 4 of the first 6 deals with AWS globally. So we had a really great sort of head start, and then it just compounded from there in the best way possible. So, and then that's just one strategic ally. There's obviously many other partners that have influence within the accounts that we're selling into. Comments made throughout a sales cycle using their own AI tools. So, operate with precision, but use those technology, use the partner influence to be really precise in how you manage and proactively squash objections before they hit you. And then I think lastly, as we look at the new AI world, that notion of interoperability, right? I think really consider who are your software allies, what organizations can you partner up with, where does it make sense to go in sort of arms up as opposed to elbows up?